Hey guys, it's Amarine, and happy Christmas Eve. I'm here for the FTM team, and today we're going to be talking about crushes, people you like, and courtship, and all that fun stuff. Before I begin, two things. One, my hair is kind of funky today. That's just how it's going to be, because, I don't know, I woke up, and, usually I put some water through it and it calms it down and everything, like, unless I actually take a shower. It just is funky in the morning. It just likes kind of doing its own thing during the night, I guess, and then it wants to stay that way. I actually once went to sleep with that. To be fair, I went to sleep with wet hair. Didn't do anything to it. Woke up with like before I got my haircut, this haircut, the first haircut I had. Didn't do anything to it. Had a mohawk, like a serious mohawk. And I honestly didn't do that. Like, that's just how it was. And it stayed that way for 24 hours. Like, it stayed. I can't do that with gel. Like, I give myself a mohawk, especially with hair as long as it was then. Anyway, so I tried to kind of do something with it. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't really care. Yeah, second of all, it's really bright around here. Except for maybe once or twice the whole time, which has been pretty much my whole life that I've lived here. It's been all nice and bright and sunny on Christmas and Christmas Eve. It like makes a point of being extra cheerful and bright. So I guess if you like Christmas, then you feel good about that. Yeah, so happy Christmas Eve, guys. And if you're watching this on Christmas Day, like I do, I go on YouTube at least some point on Christmas Day to escape from the depression of being around people who may not necessarily respect who I am. Then happy Christmas Day, and sorry things are sucking for you. Or if they're really great, then happy Christmas, and I'm glad things are working out well for you. Or if you don't celebrate Christmas, then you can just ignore this part. Yeah, so coming out to crushes and advice and whatnot. I'm trying to think of... So I guess I haven't had to come out to somebody who I like or I'm pursuing some sort of romantic involvement with. I haven't done that. Oh yeah, also the sun's right in my eyes, so my eyes are going to be all squinty. I can see that in the back of my camera right now. Alright, so anyway, I haven't had to do that. I have, as you guys probably know, I have a girlfriend of about 2.5 years who has been really, really great through all of this and really supportive. So I've been super lucky. I haven't had to deal, like, I mean, you know, we've just talked about it a lot, so I haven't had to deal with, like, her saying, I know I'm a lesbian, or oh no, I'm, you know, this or that, or whatever. Pretty much I would advise, I mean, from what I've heard of other people's stories though, and everything, I would, if you're not in a situation where everyone kind of already knows that you're trans, or if there's somebody that doesn't know, and that's the person that you have a romantic involvement, interest, whatever with, then I mean, I would let the relationship go so far as getting to know them and being, you know, courting them or whatever. And if, you know, once you guys enter into a relationship, I guess it depends on the person. I don't know if you'd want to do it before or after you know, officially enter into a relationship or whatever, if you're doing that. If you want to make that little declaration of, yeah, it's my boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, whatever, friend now. But I would do that, you know, get there, and then, try to find a time to maybe bring it up, and I would bring it up as though, like, so, you know, there's this thing that maybe you don't know about me, and it doesn't really matter because it doesn't affect who I am at all, but, you know, I was born with, you can just say I was born with, like, you know, girl parts, or I, you know, was born with, you know, two X chromosomes, and she may not get that, depends, or he, I'm sorry, whoever, or Z, may not get that, so, yeah, or, you know, I was born, I was assigned female at birth by doctors, I was given a female body, like, whatever, however you want to say it. I mean, I wouldn't come right out and say transgender or transsexual, especially depending on the situation, but I just generally not say that, because there can be a lot of stigma attached to it, unless you really, really strongly identify as transgender, like if that's what you identify as, in which case you should probably tell them earlier, because it's a strong part of your identity. But like if you don't really identify as transgender, you more identify as male, or, you know, masculine somewhere in the masculine spectrum, or so anything like that, then I would, I'd tell her, or him, or Z, Z, I think. I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of use with that pronoun, or they, or whoever. I would tell them, um, and like beforehand. And if you, I guess, yeah, if you don't identify so strongly with that, then I would say after you're already in a relationship, before anything gets, sexual beyond like kissing, pretty much, because they do a lot of touching and whatnot. They might figure things out, depending. I mean, but they might. Um, and just say it's really doesn't, and and so, but now I always, or since this age, I've always identified as male, really strongly. That's just who I am, and so it doesn't really matter. I just thought you should know that about me. Just to be honest, I wanted, you mean a lot, and I wanted to share that part of my past with you, even though it's something that I don't really identify with or connect with, or if you do, but, I really wanted to share that with you. So, make sure that you are honest. I say definitely before it gets sexual, because you don't want to, really people shouldn't be that upset, but you don't want to surprise them. You want to be kind of fair and, open. Surprise, it doesn't usually get great reactions, so I would definitely find a time when you guys are talking and having, a little serious time to talk or whatever, and just say, bring it up as though, and preface it by saying, it's not important to really who I am today, again, unless it is, but if it's not, and then, explain it really simply and just be like, however you like to say it, but, you don't need to go into a huge explanation of, like, exactly what medical procedures you plan to go through or have gone through, unless, the person asks and you really want to talk about it with them. But you don't need to go into that to start off with. You don't need to go into a spiel about gender identity and what that is, and what the difference between sex and gender are, and what and all of that. And gender is a social construct. You don't need to go into any of that. I guess I have some friends who they like talking about that to each other, and that's cool too. But I would not go into that to start out with. If you're just coming out to someone, I would just let that go, and just kind of explain it really simply. And if they ask questions, then answer them honestly. And if they afterward, show any sign of, if they want resources, there's tons. There's so many. Go to my personal channel. It's Renaissance Lad, and message me if you want resources, because I have so many resources for significant others of trans people, and especially trans guys. So go there if you want resources to direct them to, and you can't find any on your own. Definitely do that. But yeah, just give them resources if they want them. If they seem, confused or upset, then just kind of reiterate that you identify as male, and that to you, the person, and maybe the gender you think they are is important in a relationship, and it doesn't, their past doesn't matter that much to you, and you can draw an analogy if you, I'm trying to think of a good analogy, if I really liked, I guess, if you were taken to beauty pageants, I don't like beauty pageants, I don't think they're stupid, but if you were taken to beauty pageants all the time when you were a kid, I wouldn't get upset, because that's in your past, that's done with, and it wasn't really even your choice. You can make an analogy like that. If they really either get upset or they start kind of disrespecting you and using incorrect pronouns, then I'd establish really firm boundaries, because it's much better to be in a relationship. I've said this before. Much better to be in a relationship with somebody who respects you. It's just not worth it, no matter how wonderful they are otherwise. If they can't respect you, and they, can't come to a place where they feel comfortable about themselves and their own identity being with you, however sad and kind of messed up that may be, it's not worth it. It is not worth the relationship. It will not end well. I'm not saying to, leave them right away. You might need to give them some time, but just be careful about that. Set up some good boundaries. Yeah, so that's about it. And, I guess I'll go do Christmas things, I suppose. I need to wrap gifts and stuff. I always avoid this. It's horrible. And I have to go to church today, and, run the media I do that. I run the media team at my church sometimes, and so I'm scheduled to do that tonight. I don't even know if I'll be there. I need to look that up. Yeah. Christmas, I guess all the family and all the, it's such a huge societal thing, and part of society is gender roles and feeling like you belong as part of a family, and, people don't see who you are. It's always been a time of kind of detachment for me, I mean, after I was, after I was really young, like not when I was pretty young, but I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm looking forward to it, but not really. Oh well, sorry. Hopefully, I didn't want to like Grinch up your Christmas there. All right, you guys have a good holiday Christmas. I'll be here before the New Year, so sort of. But yeah, you guys enjoy all that, and yeah, again, hope everyone has food and place to stay and everything around the holidays like this. It's especially important. And see you guys next week. Cheers.